What's going on, everybody? It is Fraser Laveay, InspiredTravelEat.com, and this is the best podcast in the universe. Maybe? Possibly? We hope. Today we're going to beautiful Sedona. We're going to go over the Sedona bucket list, the best hikes, a few of the best restaurants, and the things you just must do. I am as close to a Sedona expert as you will find outside of people who live there. I've been there 50 plus times, hiked it all, seen it all, love Sedona. But yeah, before we get into that, we need to address the elephant in the Facebook groups and the Reddit forums. People who are just hating all the time on new hikers and just negativity. Someone needs to kind of stick up for them. I'm sorry to anyone who's trying to get into hiking, people who are trying to find places. If you want to skip to the bucket list and things you must do, then fast forward 4 or 5 minutes. If you want to hear me quickly talk about some of the issues with personalities out there hiking, then just keep on listening. Because if you have kids, there's a couple curses coming. Not me. I didn't say these words. These are emails and hate mails I get for providing information to people who can't hike, and kind of my own thought process of how I've dealt with sharing where places are. Like the Sedona Subway Cave is a great hot button. We'll get into it. But let me read you this. One of the many things I get from people. Here we are. Before we get into this, pack in what you pack out. Please do that all the time. I understand the frustration. Don't build the little rock pyramids. I guess because that ruins what nature had laid there before, or rock formations where you stack them. Don't stack rocks. Pack in what you pack out, please. But Sedona people and hikers, stop being assholes like this. This is a real email I get and comments on my website. It's pieces of shit like you who fucking ruin things. This is a sacred Indian ground of which you would know nothing about. You probably are some racist hick with no knowledge and are completely ignorant of what those people have been through, and Sedona tries to preserve it. Now, I am 50% Indian, Native American, Aboriginal. I belong to a tribe. My grandma was in residential school. My biological father was adopted, and all of his family members were separated. I think I have a little bit of an idea. Now, me telling people to go to a cave where a thing was rebuilt and people can see it and experience some heritage, that's me ruining it, I guess. Number 2, fuck you. I'm sick of fuckheads like you blowing up sacred sites. The graffiti is getting worse. I've been living here my entire life. My home is a couple houses away from the parking lot. You are cordially invited, thank you, to never fucking come back. I mean it. You should have put an exclamation mark if you meant it, but semantics. Don't come back. You're not welcome here. Aaron from email nevercomeback@gmail.com. I don't think that's a real email. Aaron, if you'd like to just talk to me and give a real email, we can actually talk about these things. I just feel like that was a little harsh. Relax, maybe. And I'm sure you're not upset about your cost of your home going up, and real estate value going up. And maybe, I'm sure people in California don't look over the ocean and look at these assholes who are using the beach. Like, are they going to complain? Is everyone who lives in a place that others want to go to, are they just assholes for visiting? Now, I struggle with, there's been 2 things I've exposed. Where the Subway Cave is in Sedona. I was the first one to do that, as well as another amazing hike near Payson. It's all on the website if you want to find it. West Clear Creek. I'm torn between exposing and showing people how to get to these things. And of course, like Devil's Bridge is so overrun with people. I don't even go anymore. It's just awful. The lineups and all that kind of stuff. So that does suck. Social media has done that. It's not just me. It's not just other bloggers. But also, we almost all died, according to the news, 3 years ago. And so the big thing is like, what if the outdoors inspires? The outdoors makes you feel alive. It's probably the mental wellness, the mental health side from just getting outdoors and hiking. So imagine like this one man or woman hiking up the Subway Cave and seeing this gorgeous view, or Big Bear Mountain, or whatever it is, and they're just blown away, and that just inspires them to keep on hiking, stay healthy. Or maybe someone was about to die and that was their last thing they got to see. I just think, yes, while the world is becoming well overpopulated, that's not my fault. That's not Instagram's fault. That's just the world's fault. Things are going to get overpopulated and just, found out. But I lean to the side of you could die at any day. I want someone to see the Subway Cave. I want someone to see XYZ. And if I can help them have that last amazing day on Earth, or their last great hike they've ever done, or this view that inspires them to keep on hiking or to see more things and seek stuff out for their own and push boundaries, like that's what it's about. Not you people being assholes on hike forums, cursing new hikers out instead of just answering their question. People are ignorant, yeah, but you don't have to be some virtue signaler and just put everyone down. Enough negativity. We are at minute 6. So yeah, if you fast forwarded 4 or 5 minutes, you would have missed that entire rant and me getting cursed out. So let's get into Sedona. Also, mountain bikers, you guys are kind of assholes too. I just got a mountain bike, and oh my, like, why is everything we hate as hikers and mountain bikers are just nature people? Like, I don't know, just elite arrogance. I feel like hikers and mountain bikers have taken over. Like, they've just become like the elite, and they look down at anyone who's new and hasn't done it before. And God, just chill the fuck out. Sorry if you fast forwarded to skip the cursing because you had kids in the car. And then I did curse again, but it's fine. Sedona, best things you have to do, best hikes. Number 1, go to the Subway Cave. And more people curse at me. Just make sure you subscribe to the podcast or you're going to do so. Oh, you're going to give me a negative ranking, though, aren't you? I'll just delete it, so don't even bother. Wineries. The wineries in Sedona, the wine is not amazing. Page Springs has the best wine, by far the best tasting wine, because they've realized that Sedona itself is not Napa. So they source all their grapes and vineyards from around the region and other regions in Arizona to really formulate some great grapes and great wines. So that's the best tasting. It's also incredible grounds. They keep on building on it. It's on the creek. There's events they have now, which are incredible. There's often live bands. Their artichoke dip, their spinach artichoke dip, I wouldn't even like order that typically. It's one of the best things I've tasted in Sedona. And the other one you must go to is DA Ranch. DA Ranch is right around the corner, and the grounds are the best. Stunning. The wine not as good, but it's really cute. There's a swing. If you want your cute little picture, then that's the spot. Also, stop hating on people taking Instagram pictures. Like, people are going to take pictures to commemorate this incredible feat they did or this beautiful sight they saw. Now, if you take a picture, take a couple pictures, get out of the way. But it's okay. People are allowed to take pictures. Yes, they're Instagramming. Oh, well, that's the world we live in. It's fine. There's other wineries right around the corner from it as well. Javelina Leap and one other one I'm forgetting off the top of my head, but they're all right there. And there's actually this really cute lunch spot. I'll have to look it up. Right around the corner on the creek. It's as you go back to Sedona on that same road. I'll try and find it and tell you later, but check out that place. It's always busy. Restaurants you have to try. The Hudson is my favorite because it's got an incredible view. And the food is incredible as well. I shouldn't have said incredible twice. I need to use a thesaurus. And what's nice is you can get a burger there. You can get fine dining. It's kind of got everything for all price ranges, with a stunning view, all glass on the inside. So even if you're at the bar, it's just a great view. Enchantment. I used to always tell everyone go to Enchantment, but now they've become assholes and you can only stay there. You can only eat there if you stay there. And they also charge $1,000 a night. So only rich people like Ashley Sukert can actually go to those. Yeah. Elote has changed places. It's really good. Another fan favorite. So that's great. A place that I don't like is Mariposa. The food is good. It's really pretty, but it's gotten so expensive and exclusive. Like there's a bouncer as you drive in, and every time like I've gone there and you drive in and there's some sort of bouncer security guard in Sedona, like this isn't New York. Relax. And like, do you have a reservation? And like, no, can we sit at the bar? I don't know. And they radio in. It's ridiculous. And then we got in there and it was not full whatsoever. It's just that's not the Sedona I'd like. So visit wineries. Those are some great restaurants. Crest on the Creek, if you don't have reservations anywhere, and they also have infused alcohol like jalapeno vodka ish habanero, I think it is. And you have Bloody Marys. They've got some other infusions, which are terrific. So go there. Find the Sedona subway. Go to my site if you want to find it, inspiredtravelweek.com. That's stunning. Go cliff jumping. It's not in Sedona, but Wet Beaver Creek is a stunning little hike if you go along the creek. So there's two ways to go. One way is you follow the path the entire way, and it's pretty boring and hot for miles on miles and miles until you get to the cliff jumping and swimming hole, which is great. It can be a little noisy on weekends because kids bring drinks and music, and locals curse at them, as we know, because they hate all that kind of stuff. But brighten up. You did it when you were younger. It's fine. And but a tip: hike once you go maybe a quarter mile on the path, you can veer right down to the creek itself that goes all the way pretty much to the waterfall that or to the swimming hole you want to go to, and you can cross the creek. And you're going to get a little wet, but if you want an adventure and if you have kids, that's the adventure. There's swimming holes along the entire way, especially if you don't want to go the whole way. There's a bunch of swimming holes, a bunch of cool spots. It's incredible. So check that out. ATV, go to Groupon if you can. You can get like half price ATVs and go to all these places yourself. One of the best lookouts, I think, well, the best lookout is Schneebly Hill Road, which you can oversee the entire, I think, the prettiest view of Sedona. Outside of my favorite hike, which is Bear Mountain. Not Big Bear Mountain I mentioned earlier, but Bear Mountain. My favorite hike. It's really hard, but my parents did it. They're in their 60s, I want to say. They did it. You can do it. Bring lots of water, snacks. Beautiful hike. So Big Bear Mountain, Schneebly Road. Go just see an incredible view. Cave. Go cave hunting. So the Subway Cave is great. The Birthing Cave is really cool. Be safe because I've had to rescue multiple people from these caves. So don't try and climb into stuff if you can't get back down. But the Birthing Cave, the Soldier's Path Cave is unreal. Love that place. And there's one more, the Keyhole Cave, which is really scary to get into. So bring a rope if you can and have really good shoes. Take the rope back with you when you leave, or else you'll get yelled at on social media for things people did that I didn't even do, but other people did. So do that. It's the Keyhole Cave is a tough one, but it's incredible if you can go. Incredible again. It's amazing, terrific. We'll we're thesaurusing before next podcast. The energy vortex in Sedona. There's 3 of them. I want to say. I need to read again, but my own article, 3 or 4. Really nice. Go find those if you want. The brunch at L'Auberge. I don't know if that's pronounced like that's how Canadians would pronounce it, L'Auberge, even though it's not the greatest pronunciation. I'm sorry, but that's Crest on the Creek. Oh no, I screwed up. I think I said Crest on the Creek for the restaurant with the Bloody Marys. Now I'll have to Google search. Crest on the Creek is at L'Auberge, where it stopped doing their buffet. I went there a few months ago. Pre-COVID, they had their buffet, which was the most incredible buffet you've ever seen in your entire life. Like, it was just a room. I felt like you were in Peter Pan and you just were imagining food, and it was just a feast. Or you're a king and you had goblets and there's roast pig on the table, all that kind of stuff. Unreal. So don't go there until they bring it back, because I went there last time. Food was not great, and I was really excited for their buffet. So, anyways, don't do that. Bear Mountain, I said. Hudson, Dinner with a View, Page, Spring Cellars, the Enchantment Resort, I kind of covered. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through my must-do so I don't forget anything. This is kind of weird, but it's the only McDonald's in the world without golden arches. Sedona stuck true to themselves, which I appreciate. and they didn't want the yellow going against the color scheme that they have in the entire city. So it's the only McDonald's without yellow golden arches. The prettiest view, maybe not the prettiest view I've ever seen from a church, but one of them is the church chapel at the Holy Cross. Yeah, Chapel of the Holy Cross in Sedona. It's not a hike. You just drive up to it, pay respects, maybe say a prayer. And the view from inside is stunning. It's a cool little church. Even if you don't believe in XYZ, I always just visit religious monuments wherever I travel anywhere because they're often very pretty and well set up. Visit Devil's Bridge. I mentioned that. That's a great iconic spot. Try and do that during the weekdays. The weekends, it's a nightmare. The hike, it's one of my least favorite hikes unless you have an ATV or a four-wheel high clearance drive to get to the trailhead. Because if not, you're just walking down a Jeep path for a mile each way, and it's dusty and it's hot and boring. You can kind of walk along there's a little path along the side, but you don't want to get lost. So then now people are just waiting in lineups to get their picture there. And I mean, it's worth it. It's something definitely cool to do, but it's gotten a little less. And then people are going to say, oh, Fraser, you made Subway Cave just like Devil's Bridge. I get it. It'll be fine. The world's overpopulated. What do you want me to do? You can take hot air balloons or helicopter rides. Helicopter ride, not as expensive as you think it would be. I think it's $200. But if you've never been in a helicopter like myself at the time, spend $200 and fly over one of the prettier places you've ever seen. It's definitely pretty cool. Seven Sacred Pools and Devil's Kitchen, one of my favorite hikes, is the Soldier's Pass hike because you see Devil's Kitchen, Sinkhole, Seven Sacred Pools. The pools in picture, they're really pretty. In person, they're not that exciting. But you can continue up to the Soldier's Pass cave, which is unreal. A little tough to get into, but wow, absolutely spectacular. You noticed I used two different adjectives instead of incredible. And you can find how to find the Soldier's Pass on the site, inspiredtravelite.com, because it's hard to find. And again, I'll get yelled at for telling you that. Walk West Fork Trail in the fall when the leaves are changing color. Arguably one of the prettiest hikes in Arizona when the leaves are changing because it's along the water and wow, absolutely stunning. So do that. What else do I have for you? Find old ruins or heritage sites. So as mentioned, there's a heritage site, an old ruin up at the Subway Cave. There's also one ruins on the West Fork Trail. Pack in what you pack out. Don't ruin them, or else you'll get cursed at for no apparent reason. Sedona after a snowfall. People always say, "Oh, can I go there when it's snowing?" It doesn't like snow a ton, so you're fine. But the pictures, oh my gosh, just gorgeous. And that's pretty much it. The best hikes in Sedona, I went over. Subway, I love. Bear Mountain's my favorite. Soldier's Pass is my next favorite. You can find this all on the website. Just type in Sedona. West Fork Trail's next. Wet Beaver Creek. Yeah, I covered them all. Especially Wet Beaver Creek, do that and hike along the creek. There's colors of the water. It's so nice. I need to find you the restaurant I was talking about that not Crest on the Creek. And once I find it, I'm going to be upset. But if you want to not listen, you can disappear and turn this off. But I think I found it. Favorite restaurants. Let's go. Enchantment Resort. But now, again, you can't eat there unless you stay at the resort, which is crazy expensive. So that's kind of upsetting. Page Spring Cellars, I mentioned. Great food, great ambiance. You must go there. The Hudson, mentioned that. Elote, mentioned that. Creekside Bistro Sedona, not Crest on the Creek. Creekside Bistro Sedona, great place to go. Affordable, also has great food options, and has cheap like burgers or whatever you want. Plus, they have the great Bloody Marys and all that stuff. They don't take reservations, I don't think anymore. I don't think they ever did, but maybe they do now. I don't think so though. Go there, put your name down, grab a drink at the bar while you wait. It's along the creek. Doesn't really have much of a view, but it's a great little spot. So do that. Then Mesa Grill. Sorry, Mesa Grill is right next to their airport, and it's got really pretty views, and you can, big windows. They've got a tea that's delightful. So try that tea. I forget what it is, but any kind of fruit tea I always love. Try that. And you can see that the airplanes coming in and out. Where to stay? Salt Rock. Before we get to where to stay, Salt Rock is another great place for a lunch. It's got good views. It's at the hotel, the Amara Resort and Spa. So that's a great little spot. Where to stay, as well as things not to do. Don't go to restaurants that don't have a view. There's I feel bad. So like Cucina Rustica, I think it is, and there's another Italian place, a couple other restaurants, like amazing Italian food, but there's no view or anything. Like you can get amazing Italian food, I'm sure, where you're from. It's not like this. It's like New York City, anyways, where there's a bunch of Italians. There's like 2 Italians in Sedona. So I'd rather go for somewhere that's maybe not as good food, like Salt Rock, and have views and an ambiance than somewhere indoors that has good food. So it's kind of weighing that balance of experience. Like while you're there, something with a view. Don't worry about the taste of the food as much. The food will still be fine, but go for that ambiance that you can't get when you're at home. Places to stay, really anywhere. There's no bad place to stay in Sedona. I always like to stay on the west side because there's more hikes on the west side, and getting through the heart of town is a nightmare because it's overpopulated. And F me for making it overpopulated, and bloggers alike, and social media, and get off my lawn, and blah blah blah. But the places on the south of downtown, southeast of downtown, I want to say, harder to get to places because you have to drive. Like all the hikes are either west or east for the most part. So you driving up, and then you kind of get to town, then you have to go left or west. It's a little bit tougher to just longer to get places. That's really it. It's not the end of the world. But if you had to stay in West Sedona, just because it's ease of getting in and around everywhere. The restaurants, the wineries are also west of Sedona, so that's great. The wineries are all 20 minutes away, 25 minutes away. There's tours that will take you there, but amazing little spot. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Be nice to new people. Stop being virtue signalers. Everyone knows not to litter. They don't need you saying that you're the first person to say that littering is bad. But please do pack in what you pack out. Be respectful of the Sedona people. And yeah, until next time, inspiredtravelite.com, the best podcast in the universe, unless you're the assholes who curse me out on my own website for sharing happiness and joy and inspiration. Check you guys out.